Hi everybody, Thomas575 here. With the second trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie on the way, I thought I might as well release this video before the trailer arrives, since I'll be having to talk about it soon. So anyway, after making two top 5 videos, I realized that both of those videos cover stuff that I don't like about the respective movie universes. Not necessarily showcasing what I do like about those movie universes. So that's why I'm going ahead and fixing that with this top 5 video, where I go over the top 5 with my where I go over my top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters. Now, just like the other top 5 videos, I will only be including characters that are from the movie universes or adapted into the universe itself. Well, you get what I mean. And just like the other two top 5 videos, this is strictly my opinion. So if your favorite character isn't on this list, then don't get all pissy with me in the comments, okay? This is sorely these are characters that I like, all right? If you like another character and you have a different opinion, that's totally fine, all right? But anyway, before I do get on to my top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie characters list, I quickly want to update my top 5 worst Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters. I thought before I made that video, I thought I considered everything before making the lineup. But then, after a while, I realized that there was a character I realized that there was a character that had full contribution to the list. Now, this character is worse than Juan and Pablo, Rockwell, and Maria. And this character is Wendy Whipple, who is now taking the new number 2 spot in the top 5 in my top 5 worst Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters list. This irritates me to no end. Throughout the entirety of Knuckles, when she's first introduced, she's like, "Hey Wade, it's really nice to see you again after all this time, but fuck you. Rather than me giving you shelter because you're on the run from the since you're on the run from the government, I'm instead going to force you to join me for Shabbat dinner where I want you and your sister to get along because you two have been rivals since childhood. And if you don't do that, I'm gonna threaten to beat you up myself, and also keep pronouncing your buddy Knuckles' name wrong by pronouncing it Knuckles or however I say it. And oh my gosh, she is super repetitive in Knuckles. It's just that's literally her entire character in Knuckles. She's just sort of this irritable side character. She's not. There's no moment in Knuckles where I enjoyed her presence. But yeah, that's literally her entire character in Knuckles. Just yeah, but anyway, for you may be wondering on why I'm not including characters like Wanda or Pistol Pete in the list. And that's because I actually think they're okay in terms of characters. With Wanda, she's supposed to be Wade's rival. Like, she is Wade's sister, and they're supposed to have this sort of sibling rivalry. And I thought Wanda was a good character throughout the show. Although I kind of wish there were more moments between her and Wade. By the end of episode 3, of Knuckles, she kind of sort of respects Wade now, and but still kind of contains that a little bit of that rivalry, which I do like. Um, because Wade has because Wade and Knuckles they sort of just they just help out, and then the family no longer finds them as a joke, and it's like you know, that's another thing I don't like about when she finds Wade as a joke, but then by the end of Knuckles, she no longer finds Wade as a joke. Um, it's like, you know, that's another problem I have with that's just a minor nitpick. That's another minor nitpick I have with Wanda and Wendy. But yeah, but that aspect is another reason I don't like Wendy, is because she respects Wade, because uh they're all gathered at this spot after Knuckles took out the bounty hunters. Knuckles literally did all the fighting, and suddenly the attention is on Wade. I mean, at the very least, you could have just given them equal amounts of attention, but no, or it's just, yeah. But yeah, yeah. For Wanda, I feel like she was okay, and you know, and same thing goes for Pistol Pete. You know, he's meant to be this sort of arrogant asshole, but he isn't like completely that way. He has shown some vulnerable moments, which I don't know if it's an act or not, but he truly does try to play fair, but at the end, when Wade is the winner, he wants the trophy so that he can be able to keep on gloating, which is okay. But I don't think he's like a bad character by any means. I think he was decent enough, as characters go. Anyway, on to the rest of the characters on why I'm fixing this list. So with Rachel, throughout the movie universe, I feel as though I misunderstood her purpose. I gave her shit for being a bit of a repetitive character, and being a constant headache for doing these things for literally no reason. But then I realized that's the point. She isn't meant to be a good character by any means. She's meant to be that tolerable. So I honestly don't consider Rachel one of the worst Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters anymore. Now for the rest of the characters, on the list, with Juan and Pablo, they're just TV characters. And sure, Rockwell was a bad character, and kind of caused a bit of a spark in the internet. But we knew it was just we knew she was just a temporary character and wouldn't stick around long. Same thing goes for Maria as well. But for Wendy, she's just, oh my, she's just sort of an annoying bitch throughout the entirety of Knuckles. It's just, yeah. Yeah. Do I even need to discuss on how sidelined she was? Like, you know, she also tried. Oh yeah, this is another point. She tries to warn Wade a little too late about Pistol Pete, as well. It's just, she tries to help Wade throughout the show, but she doesn't do a good job at doing that. So anyway, yeah, that's my top 5 worst Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters list rectified. Now, anyways, enough about me rambling about what I don't like. Now let's get on to what you're really here for. Here is my top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters. Alright, at number 5 we have Tom Wachowski. Now, what I like about Tom is that he's willing to help out Sonic, he's willing to help out anyone because he likes to help out. But throughout the first movie, he doesn't seem that he doesn't feel like a real cop. He feels more like a caretaker that looks after the town rather than an actual police officer, which I get. And then but he's also a nice character since but he's so nice, and he's so determined to look after, or he's so determined to help others that he goes out of his way to help Sonic when he doesn't even fully understand what he is. And then by the end of the movie, he decides to stay in Green Hills because that is where his home's at. The first movie the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie is accepting where you live. It's accepting that this place is your home no matter what. And I like that. But Tom is also Tom can also be a badass at times, since he's shown to be fighting throughout the entirety of the movie universe. But there are a few problems that I have with Tom. Over time, he sort of started to slowly develop into an afterthought. Because his screen time throughout the movie universe has decreased over time. The first movie had the most screen time I've seen from him. The second movie, he was only in it for like half the movie. He's not even present in Knuckles, and then in number 3, it's like they didn't want him in the script at all. It kind of feels like he was forced in. Like literally almost forced in. And because I think the writers started to see Tom as more of an afterthought, I think that's the reason on why they wanted to kill him off. That way, it would give more of a chance for new characters to come along and look into their background, And I would like that. I would have liked that in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. By killing off Tom, it would have given Sonic a more legitimate response to get mad and try to kill Project Shadow, because Shadow was the one responsible for killing Tom, and so Sonic wants to get his revenge. And I would have liked that, but instead instead of Tom dying, he just gets punched, he gets hospitalized, and then he comes back with just a broken arm. That's literally his whole thing in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He just shows up, he tries to help Sonic, he almost dies, and then he just comes back completely fine. I would I'm someone that likes the human characters in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I like solid original characters, and I think Tom is one of those original characters that I like. But I don't like him. I don't like these. But Tom is supposed to be like one of the main characters, and so far he's just been. But over time, like I've said, he's just been shoved off to the side like a lot. And by killing off Tom in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, that would have been a good. That would have been. It would have been a nice conclusion to his arc, because he's accomplished everything that he's ever wanted to do in his life. But despite those flaws, he's one of the coolest human characters in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe. And and he'll be hopefully he'll get more redemption in the next part, if there's ever another part to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe. Okay, at number 4 we have Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, Sonic, I like Sonic in the first movie. I think Sonic has I think Sonic is like well developed in the first movie. But the problems I have with Sonic is that he is that in the second movie, the whole reason on why Sonic goes on an adventure is because he is because he still needs to is because he still has growing up to do, and he wants a chance to prove himself. And throughout the second movie, he keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake. But then by the end of the movie, instead of saying that he's experienced a lot and grown since the beginning of this journey, he instead says that um, he instead says that he still has some growing up to do. Like literally all the entirety of that journey, the whole purpose of your journey was that you wanted to prove yourself. And you finally did it when you harnessed the power of the Chaos Emeralds. And literally after you cast them off, you just say, "Oh, I only did that because I still have growing up to do." It's like, "Oh my, seriously? You did all that for that?" And then his presence in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Um, I think that he had a bit of improvement there. Um, but here's the thing. In Sonic the Hedgehog 3, he wants to take his revenge on Shadow for killing Tom, or supposedly killing Tom, I should say. But then suddenly he stops and says, "Oh wait, no, I can't do this because it's not who I am." It's like, dude, did you literally forget that Shadow punched one one of your closest friends? Are you kidding me right now? He killed that guy killed one of your teammates, and you decide to spare him? I mean, did you forget everything he's done? I mean, you could have just said that, okay, I'm not only gonna kill you for getting revenge on Tom, but I'm also doing this to end your pain. It's like, that would have been a fitting conclusion for Shadow, because throughout the entirety of the movie, Shadow has no hope for the world anymore. Like ever since Maria died, he's lost all grip. He's lost all grip of he's lost his grip of hope on the world. He doesn't see any reason to go on. So it would have made sense for Sonic to kill Shadow there, because the writers were so insistent on making Shadow this by having giving Shadow redemption, that kind of just ruins his whole thing on on the movie. And when he supposedly died from the Eclipse Cannon explosion, I thought, all right, now this has to be the true ending for Shadow, right? Like his character arc is completed. There's no reason he should come back. And then when I saw the post credit scene, I was like, God damn it. They really don't want to kill him off, do they? Well, okay, to be fair, that may just be an alien mimicking Shadow, or it may be a robot or something. But I mean, come on, seriously, why do you have what? Right. I'm talking about Sonic here. So yeah. Anyway, another reason why I don't like Sonic is because of all of his like one-liner quips he makes throughout the entirety of the movie universe. References pop culture, and most of the time I don't even get what he's referencing. It's like, okay, you make a reference, but what exactly are you referencing? but despite these flaws, I think Sonic is a really well developed character. But I'm just hoping that the aspect of him making his one liner pop culture reference quips gets severely toned down, because I don't want to hear him do that. I don't want to hear him do that like anymore. Like seriously, I don't want to hear him do that anymore. All right, coming at number 3, we have Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Now this guy, oh my, now this guy is one cool villain. This guy is a much better villain than Bowser, because for one, he is not driven by lust, thank goodness, and he puts his intellect above his servants, at least for the first two movies. Uh, and he always thinks ahead, because he when he gets a few examples of this are when he gets banished to the Mushroom Planet. He somehow he somehow figured that the quill would have aftershocks, and used those aftershocks to his advantage, um, by creating this sort of beacon, um, so that he could so that a ring portal would appear and he could escape. Although I don't know how he figured that the aftershocks would last such a long time, because I mean they've lasted for literally 8 months. But anyway, another example of this would be when he gets the Master Emerald punched out of him. He activates the auxiliary power, which he remotely controls Egg Robotnik through its systems. He somehow knew that he somehow knew that he would get the Master Emerald punched out of him, and when he did that, he sort of knew that he could he would figure that out. Now, you may be wondering, what are the problems I have with Robotnik? What are his flaws? Why is he not higher on the list? Well, a few things I don't like about him are his dancing. Throughout every movie, he's had some sort of dance sequence. For the first movie, he danced. He did this dance sequence while he was investigating Sonic's quill. For the second movie, he sort of did this like taunt dance when he was attacking a gun, and then for the third movie, he dances alongside his grandmother when trying to get the second Eclipse Cannon key. And yeah, all those dances were cringe. I did not like. I didn't like any of them. And then, of course, I hate the fact that they brought him back. They brought him back from the dead. From the second movie, because the second movie, his character was in the second movie. Robotnik was for real, because of his actor Jim Carrey retiring, and that would have been a fitting conclusion to his character. It would have given it would have given an opportunity for more villains from the games, or heck, even new solid original villains to come into the picture. But no, instead, Jim came back and practically begged to be Robotnik again, because Jim needed the money. Apparently Jim was low on cash, and he wanted to come back to play Robotnik because he needed the money. They only incorporated Robotnik again because he wanted to, because he needed money. That's literally the only reason they decided to bring back his character. Only reason why they continue to. But yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah. But yeah, that's those are flaws with Robotnik. I think, but despite those flaws that I have with Robotnik, I really think I think he's a really well done villain. You know, everything he's done has most of the things he's done has been faithful to the games. From him having his hatred towards Sonic to him tricking Knuckles in order from him tricking Knuckles, and then all that. I think Robotnik is a good character by all means. All right, coming at number 2, we have Knuckles. Now, Knuckles is, I think, the best animated character in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe. What I like about Knuckles is that he's full of determination to accomplish anything. He gets up early in the morning to train. He works well. He sort of works well with the team, and he has an established rivalry for Sonic, and yeah, he's even willing to ask the echidnas who asked to tell him what to do now, since his task of retrieving the Master Emerald is complete. And I think Knuckles Knuckles is one of the more deeper characters, because he kind of has a bit of a dark past, where he lost where he because he lost his father. His father died trying to get the map to the Master Emerald, and Knuckles went on this journey to find the Flames of Disaster so that he could have this power. But yeah, I like Knuckles in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe. He's not that stupid, or he's not that gullible to get the only reason he gets tricked by Robotnik is because he does not know Robotnik at all. Like, he's willing to put his trust in others in order to get what he wants. But I mean, literally the only problem I have with Knuckles is his voice. I think his voice is a bit too deep for a 15, 16-year-old. But yeah, other than that, Knuckles is a good character. Now, you may be asking yourself, who could be better than Knuckles? Well, stick around because I'm about to answer that question right now. Finally, at number 1, we have Wade Whipple. Now, this guy is similar to Tom, but he's kind of been well developed over the years. Like, for the first 2 movies, he's kind of been more of a side character that doesn't really do all that much. But then in Knuckles, I think that is where he has the most character growth, because Wade wants to prove that he isn't a joke. He's more than just some goofy side character or whatnot. No, he wants a chance to prove himself, and he does so when Wade gives him a chance to help him win the bowling tournament in Reno, Nevada. So, but yeah, so throughout the show, he's shown having developed a pretty good partnership with Knuckles. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to bring about Knuckles. He develops a well established partnership with Wade, and the other way around. But yeah, I think Wade is a fantastic character, and he he has a bit of a rivalry. He wants to do he wants to do the right thing. He even saves Knuckles at one point, despite getting extremely lucky. But yeah, I think Knuckles. I think in Knuckles, I think that is where he had the most growth. I think Wade. I think so far Wade is the best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe character by far. So yeah, yeah, that's what I like about Wade. I think I don't really see any problems with Wade, to be honest. Of course he's not like the perfect character. I don't know. I just can't really see anything wrong with him. Okay, and that is my top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters. So yeah, I hope you guys liked what you I hope you guys liked my list. So yeah, who is in your list at the top 5? Yeah, who are your top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters? Are they the same characters in this list? Go ahead and comment your list below. Go ahead and like this video if you liked the list I gave out. Uh, Share this video and share and tell everyone about this list I made about the top 5 best Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe characters. And then of course subscribe if you want to see future top 5 videos like this one. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching. Bye.